Hey guys, Anime Core 5 here. First off, thank you guys for giving me 30 subscribers. I do appreciate your guys' support in building up this new channel of mine, which I feel terrible for how Core Sonic 23 went down. Because obviously there were some things I did wrong, other stuff I did right. But I'm glad to have a nice support from all you guys. So, in commemoration of today, I wanted to bestow upon you a new type of anime/gaming rant, but this one talking about different worlds and how it impacts us gamers and otakus, pretty much. I was gonna say almost like YouTube creators, but that's a little bit going off topic. Anyways, so let's look at all the animes that that some of us have seen and some of us have not seen. Okay, for the ones that probably have seen are probably like SAO, Sword Art Online, which is what SAO stands for. That one, it takes place in a virtual reality game, which is called Sword Art Online. And like as the title suggests, the game, the whole entire premise is all about adventuring, killing monsters, and, joining a guild, or if you want to just be a solo player, you can go about it being a solo player. And honestly, that game really, really sets a good tone for the way how things could be. Let's say that one day, your heart gives out on you and all of a sudden you end up in a hospital and, your parents and your family and everyone who loved you all of a sudden, showed a lot of support for you, are there with you in the hospital, but apparently your heart just stopped. The whole entire monitor goes completely blank, and then of course the doctors, just pronounce, the time of death, and then of course, you could end up in a new world, which could be something like Sword Art. Okay, this whole entire thing is, I love video games. This is why I love anime and video games. Okay, when it comes to video games, you could be any person that you want. You don't have to just be a human. You could be, a goddess or a god. You could be, maybe a brother of gods, like Hades. You could also be, an orc, a cleric, a warrior, a priest, what's a bard if you wanted to. The list goes on. And when I look back at all the anime and all the other games I've played, it's really amazing of what creations like game publishers, game developers, and artists of anime can come up with. It's amazing. It's astonishing. I mean, okay, then let's take a look. I mean, if we look at, Bleach, the whole place takes, I forget what the place is. I think it's in Tokyo, Japan, I think. But, oh wait, no, never mind. The whole entire place takes place in Karakura. That's right. It's a little small town. I think it's outside of Tokyo or something. But Karakura, it's an actual town in an anime. It's not a real town, but in the world of anime, it is. And honestly, when we look at a whole bunch of, the way how Ichigo and his friends, live their daily lives, and then all of a sudden, there exists another world, which are the Soul Reapers that come from another place called the Soul Society. And let's just say Soul Society is a little bit bleak, but it has some sort of coolness tied to it, okay? And honestly, it kind of amazes me. It amazes me that, okay, so even if you die, you could still end up in a world like the Soul Society, where basically you don't live with, you don't live with biological parents. You live in several different areas, in several different Rukon districts, okay? I don't, what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that, all these worlds that you explore within anime and video games, it's quite amazing, and, let's be honest, they kick ass more than reality. Because, I mean, after all, reality is just bullshit, okay? It's just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit, okay? Everything in real life is bullshit, okay? Literally, okay? Retail sucks. And one thing I've learned is retail is like a step above fast food, okay? You think fast food is terrible? Enter retail. It's astonishing, and it's really, really annoying, okay? You have these dumbasses who have to act entitled for things that they want, when in reality, they don't need to act stupid and retarded, okay? They need to use logic. And I don't understand, like, the whole entire world in itself of why you need a whole bunch of stupid people to help run a country. Why do we need stupid people? We could just use people who are logical and just enough to help, that can actually, like, differentiates between what's the right thing to do and the wrong thing to do. And honestly, in my mind, I'm like, I really, really would love to just go into a world, be whoever I want to be, and I don't have to worry about it. I mean, hell, if I were to be playing a game like, oh my god, Horizon Zero Dawn, where I play as an actual female protagonist, I could do that. Or maybe Lara Croft from Tomb Raider, where, yes, she sets on an adventure, but at least, she's doing something, she's finding out hidden secrets, depending on whatever place she goes to. And, of course, we also have worlds like Final Fantasy games, because, each game is completely different. I mean, if you look at Final Fantasy VII, doesn't matter if it's, like, the original or the remake, it's still set in the same area, which is Midgar, okay? The world of Midgar, yes, it's awful because, let's face it, Shinra built like a gigantic, is basically sucking life out of the earth, and they're basically using it to manufacture buildings and to make the people down below them suffer for it. With polluted air and not really good, and there's no sunlight. How would you like it, if you could live in a world where it's like, where there's no sunlight, and all of that is basically being guarded is a gigantic plate, because that's the way I was designed, because Midgar runs the whole entire area. If they got rid of that, Midgar would be a lot more livelier place. Seriously, I mean, Midgar has no flowers, no trees, no sunlight, and everything is just so plain goddamn boring. Seriously. But then it's like, once you get out and explore the world, hey, the world is your oyster. You can go on an adventure and discover new things. Go to different towns, like that one area in Zach's hometown, Gogaga, or yeah, I think Gongaga. I think that's how it's pronounced. It's something like that. Okay, imagine going into that town and literally like exploring a bit. Yeah, it's cool. And then if you go to Nibelheim, that's another interesting area, which, yes, it's a little more darker, but at least it has something. Nibelheim is, it's an interesting area. But, okay, but honestly, I have to say the coolest world, honestly, from all video games I've played, I actually like that one area, it's like, almost like towards the end of Tales of Arise. The whole entire place is like a palace, okay? It's like a gigantic palace, and the whole entire area is just so cool. But, of course, if we look at, like, Trails of Cold Steel, that's another interesting place. Forgot that the big city. It's kind of like San Francisco, but a little bit cooler. Plus, not to mention, there's a lot of cooler shops, and And of course, there's not really any homeless people whatsoever. Imagine living in a world like that. Seriously. A world that really, that really defines what reality should be. I really wish we lived in a world where it's like you can be whoever you want. You can choose, what path you want to choose, and you don't have to live a day in your life just having to go to just one day job and then of course go home and then just repeat. What if you could go and just go and explore different things? I mean, yeah, you can. If you were, let's say, maybe, making good money, I don't know, 80,000, yeah, 80,000 per year. Or maybe even, I mean, if you're a rich person, yes, you can do that. You make, millions of dollars or make thousands of dollars, per month. That's good money right there. But for those who live who are middle class or who live very poorly, not all of us can actually do that. And if we want to go out and adventure, we can either, yes, we can go on our own, but it might be fun to go as a family or something. That's just my 2 cents. But hey, I know it's you're not always, trapped at home, and, there's other stuff you can do. But not everyone these days, literally has the power to actually do that. And honestly, if I was living a much more better life, I would love to do that, honestly. I would love to do that. Which, hopefully I can, maybe in a couple years or so. Give it time. But then, if we look into, other animes, like Beast Tamer, for example, what if you could, be a person that ends up, getting nothing but female booty around you? Seriously. Getting, a whole bunch of girls as your actual teammates and start your own little harem guild. Now, that is actually cool. That is actually really cool. I mean, that's the thing, that's the thing I love about anime, is that it's creative. It's creative, it's unique, it has some personality to it. But when you compare it to real life doesn't really have that sense of zazz, because, yes, depending on which country and which state you live in, it's different. But honestly, that's just really, my whole entire 2 cents of it, is that, when I look into anime and video games, I feel like, there's a lot more creative things I could actually think about if I could change if I were, let's say, the president of the United States. There'd be, a lot of things I love to change. Yes, I would have to go against, the House of Representatives, plus I would have to go battle with the governor, and then go against, the League of Nations or whatever they're called. Yeah, so that's something. But if I were to be president, I would just want to make things equal and fair. I wouldn't want to oh yeah, let's leave the homeless where they are. Let's not build let's not build shelter for for the homeless people. Let's go ahead and just build more businesses. That'll solve out the world. That'll just do the world justice. No, it won't. Okay, we don't need more businesses in this whole entire world. Okay, I think we're good. We're good. But honestly, if it were me, I would just want to just go ahead and build build homes to make more affordable housing for people to live in, because us as a society, hey, we need roof over our heads. We don't need businesses. We need more housing. We need more affordable housing. Not over, being expensive. But I'm going into the political realm, which I'm not going to go any further, but you got the idea, okay? That's really what the whole thing is when it comes to, the different when it comes to a lot of the different aspects when it comes to looking at anime and gaming is just what each video game world offers you, and what each story a anime and a video game can provide. There's just a lot. I mean, when I look at like Tales of Xillia, like, yeah, the whole entire thing is just basically, a scholar, a really, really, a scholar student decides to go on an adventure because his professor was murdered, and he went out and adventuring with a cool, awesome goddess who basically has the power of all four elements: earth, wind, water, and fire. And they're known as spirits. But still, I mean, you can compare that to Tales of Berseria, and that's no different. The only difference is that for Berseria, it's all about a woman who, I actually wouldn't say woman, it's all about a young girl. Or, wait, no. Yeah, young girl and her, getting revenge because of what had happened to her younger brother. And that sort of scenario. So, yes, that really, really takes it a little bit step further. But yes, in Tales of Berseria, it's really just, stopping, Shepard, or which is, the main character, Velvet, stopping your brother-in-law from awakening a fifth god. Even though, in reality, there is no such thing as a fifth god. You only have four elements, because that essentially is what our Earth is made of. Like, seriously, if you think about it, the Earth is made up of four different elements. You have wind, which you get from the air. You have fire, which literally is basically, what provides heat. Then you have earth, which is just basically solid ground. And then you have water, which is what you drink from. So, there you go. Those are the main four things of what you get out of life. Do you learn anything about this in schools? No! You don't learn anything about this in real, in schools in real life. You don't. Why? I don't know. Okay, maybe, if you took, like, environmental science, okay, that kind of sets the tone, but in reality, that's just the way how things are, unfortunately. But that basically puts everything together in a nutshell. So yeah, I would advise you guys, even like for the newbies out there that really aren't are kind of like starting to get into gaming, but for those who aren't as very well versed in the gaming space, definitely I definitely go out and explore many of these different worlds in these video games. I mean, Persona also tells a good, interesting story, because Persona 5, in reality, is just all about, going up against, a group of students going up against the government. Challenging the government and to basically stop, bad people in the media, or any person in power from performing evil deeds. That's basically what it is. And then, of course, the end of the game is all about stopping this gigantic creature or whatever from literally destroying the world, essentially. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. So yeah, definitely, take some time into recollecting of everything that I just said here, because believe it or not, video games and anime have a lot more power than reality. I mean, besides, let's be honest here, politics is bullshit, okay? We all agree, politics is bullshit because no one can come to an understanding. You have two different parties battling amongst each other, and no one can come to an agreement. That's just the way how it is in real life. That's why I love to just play video games and anime, because I can just escape into a world where I feel, where I can feel, I can just get lost in a world and just do some exploration. Because, hey, that's my way of adventuring. Watching anime and exploring different worlds really gives me some great aspects, and it even gives me some good common wisdom for me to use in my daily life. I don't learn much of that in real life because no one really teaches it to me at all. But that's basically all I could pretty much say for this gaming rant/anime rant. So yeah, feel free to voice some comments in the comment section down below. And yes, and I do apologize if I got a little bit too political there, but I just wanted to just use what I said earlier as an example, even though I'm clearly not going the route of politics, because politics is bullshit, and everyone knows it. Besides, what is the whole point of politics in general if you really, really only have, just two parties arguing amongst each other? Seriously, what if our world could be treated fairly? Got rid of all this whole entire, as George Carlin put it, this whole, sensation of the illusion of security. Seriously. But anyways, I better stop myself before I go a little bit off the rails. So yeah, definitely leave your comments down below. Definitely give this video a like if you liked it. Share it with others on social media, and of course, for all other cool stuff in terms of content, make sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon with all notifications enabled, so that way you can help support me, and you can also get your videos on a daily basis. Alright? Daily/bi-weekly basis. And other than that pretty much wraps it up. So, yeah, my social links are in the description, so check them out. Till then, this is Anime Core 5. See you guys then. Take care.